choose tonight. We got dreams and we got fight. Voices loud in the city's light. Change is coming into sight. History told by scars and pain. Echoes deep in every name. Legal truths we must reclaim. Through the storm and through the rain. Thorough black talk of you. With brother Tad, sister K. Sister Marcia, brother Blacksmith. Cut the check or no vote, yeah. Justice calls from open skies. Tears that fall, ain't no disguise. Marching forward, no surprise. Strength in hearts you can't downsize. Every voice a sweet refrain. In this fight we share the strain. Through the joy and through the pain. Bound together like a chain. Thorough black talk of you. With brother Tad, sister K. Sister Marcia, brother Blacksmith. Cut the check or no vote, yeah.
Good evening, family. Welcome back to Thorough Black Talk Worldview. We are glad to be back with you all this week. I hope you all have had a good week last week. I hope everything is going well with you in your life, in your family's life. I hope that your money game is up. I hope your health is doing great. We got a lot to discuss. I see my brother Blacksmith getting ready behind the scenes because he coming in heavy with the 1-2 tonight. We're gonna kick it off with brother Blacksmith. So as soon as he gets ready, we're gonna rock and roll while we wait for Sister Marcia and brother Tad to get in here. Shout out to Sister Joyce, brother Monty, Suffolk County in the building. What's good? Good to be black with y'all. Sister Donna, brother Kerwood, what's good, brother Kerwood, out there in Birmingham and Bessemer, Alabama. Sister Farnessa on the check-in. Yes, sis, thank you. We black on the bridge tonight, baby. It's going down. We got a lot to get into. A lot's been happening. Boy, I leave for a couple days. Boy, everything go haywire, but we're going to get into it all tonight, family. We're going to get into it. Sister Almanette, too, in the Midwest crew, what's good? Hope you all are doing well in your neck of the woods, sis. Yes, indeed. Glad to be black with each and every one of y'all. Now, I took a few days off, the Thorough Black Talk crew. We had a vacation last week. I left the country for a few, because, sometimes you got to get away and regroup. So I had to do that. I definitely had to do that to get away. But during my travels, I'm always still, searching and researching information in history and how we look to the world on the political stage. And so, having some conversations with people in other countries, looking inward at us as we look outward at the world, it's a joke. This presidential race that is put before the people in the world. If the U.S. is the standard, if you will, of democracy in the world, they doing a bad job. It's just been crazy. So I know you had the debate the other night. We got to talk about that. A lot of people was throwing shade, throwing shade. We have people who seem to forget our trials and tribulations as far as voting is concerned. And a lot of people get a lot of information misconstrued and just all around wrong. So we're going to get into a bit of that history tonight as well, once my brother Tag is in here. And shout out to the OG Wisdom Podcast. You can definitely catch their rebroadcast on our Thorough Black Talk Facebook page. Want to give a shout out to Empress Filet and New Day Liberation and the Million Woman March. Get ready, family. October, it will be here before you know it. all roads lead, to Philadelphia. We're going to have Dr. Filet in here probably in the next couple of weeks or so to give us the 411 on everything that's going on with that. I see my sister Marcia getting ready because we got a lot to discuss. So I told the crew get in here as fast as they could, but sometimes, life throws you a wrench. So we working it out. We working it out. But anyway, so then you had mass shootings that have taken place. Brother Black always tell y'all to look out for these psyops. But what do I know? But Brother Black will give us the 1-2 in a minute once he comes through. Also, we've had some judges who have admitted to being the new racists. We got to talk about that. Also, we lost 3 major entertainment icons with James Earl Jones, with Frankie Beverly yesterday, and just before I left, Fat Man Scoop. So we got a lot to get into all of that. So again, thank you all for tuning in with us, especially those of you outside of the U.S. We definitely appreciate you. We're going to have our brother Siraj come in here next year in September with our brother Tad and some others, because as far as men's mental health is concerned, it needs to be a priority. So all roads lead to Brooklyn, New York, September 2025. I'm telling y'all now, you want to be in Brooklyn, New York, September 2025. Call all your brothers, your husbands, your boyfriends, your sons, your cousins, and your uncles, and tell them that all roads lead to Brooklyn, September 2025. But I'm going to get my brothers in here. I see them ready behind the scenes. Brother Tad, OG Wisdom in the building. What's good? Uh-oh, I can't hear you, Brother Tad. Can't hear you. There you go.
My mic was muted. My bad. Yeah, we
What's
back
up,
at it,
brother?
addicts. How you feeling, sis?
I'm tanned, blessed, and highly favored.
Holla. Yes, you are. Yes, you are looking chocolatey like Snickers and Hershey Kisses. Yeah, but that's always much needed. I'm trying to make sure my hat is straight. You see, I'm sitting in a different position, trying to get myself away from the wall. A little bookshelf in the background. I saw some information. People think we just be talking to talk. But how you feeling, sis?
Good, brother. Good to see y'all again this week. As I was saying before I brought you in, we got a lot to discuss.
Yes.
So much has happened since we were off last week, but we'll get into it. You got police commissioners stepping down, and
oh man, and it's so multi-layered because these are Eric Adams folks. And remember, Bishop Whitehead said, "Yo, I'm covering for the mayor." So now it leaves a little validity to what he was hollering. I'm like, wow. Because remember, he kept saying, "Nah, not me. Nah, you want to holler?" And he kind of snitching, my G. But nonetheless, he did put that out there, and what we see unfolding right now.
Mm-hmm.
And part of my voice is kind of hoarse, but
mine too. I caught a little cough coming back, so excuse me, bear with me tonight, family. But we're gonna get our brother Blacksmith, because Blacksmith got to come in with the 1-2.
Shout out to Anunnaki.
Brother Anunnaki, excuse me, family.
Peace, Brother Black.
I guess that's my name now, huh?
Thanks, Sister Farnessa.
Hey, where was you last week, man? I pulled up on the roof, man, in the V. You ain't come up.
Nah, the way my Star Trek beamer was set up, I wasn't.
What's up, Keisha?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. You're coming
right.
back to the
What
U.S. This cough. As soon as I got off the daggone plane, I'm telling you, boy, this place is dangerous. Brother Black told y'all, these things they're releasing into the air and whatnot. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'm gonna let Brother Anunnaki go in early tonight, because
it's electromagnetic dust particles.
He put it right in my throat, Tad. That's
especially.
the Bronx.
But you know what, sis? It's a good thing you didn't take the jab, because then they be controlling you like a robot. Because I think the level of stupidity. Me and Sister Tam was talking. I said she lost one of her best friends. You know, rest in peace to brother Todd. She lost one of her best friends. You know, he passed of a heart attack. You know, and the question was, is it the jab? Because a lot of people took the jab, transitioned through heart attacks, and we knew cardiomyocytes. However you say that. And my brain is kind of malfunctioning right now, but that is the side effect of the jab, and a lot of people have transitioned that has taken the jab. And as you mentioned earlier, Sister Keisha, you know, all of these celebrities that transition. Doggy once asked the question, I wonder if it's the jab. But if it ain't giving you a heart attack, is it malfunctioning your brain? Because there's a lot of stupidity going on this day and age, and it's making you question, like, make you question your sanity. Like, are people really this
The
stupid?
nanoparticles break down your organs, all of them.
What you said it
So
is? What do you call it, Brother Black?
nanoparticles. If you got a weak heart, in other words, when you get a disease, some people are prone to diabetes because they can't take the glucose, the sugar. Some people get, some people don't have to drink a lot and they get cirrhosis of the liver because their liver's weak. So whatever you weaken usually will deposit itself in the weakest part of your body, and then that's the disease you get. So if it's your brain, it's a stroke. If it's your heart, it's a heart attack. If it's diabetes, it's, you know, you don't even have to eat more sugar or add more sugar and stuff like that. And a lot of us don't know that a lot of most foods, especially the ones that's overly acidic, break down into sugar. So you don't have to be pouring a boatload of sugar into your coffee or, you know, oatmeal, farina, whatever you eat with that you usually add sugar to get these things. If your body already has a propensity to be weak in that regard.
Right.
So I'm glad you brought that up before I did, because I was going to ask the same question and posit, did these two icons that died of old age, well, I don't know the cause of death at this point, but, you know, back in the days when somebody died of something, the cause of death used to be usually within a day or two that you find out. Now they don't know. They're going to investigate. By the time you think about it again, it's 3 months later. You forgot about that person because 6 more people done died in between the meantime.
Yeah.
So,
and it was.
I'm sorry, Tad. I didn't mean to cut your wisdom. Go ahead. Please.
No, that's all love. We sharing this, brother. But it was actually 3 people. It was Fat Man Scoop, then Frankie Beverly, and then, or was it James Earl Jones, then Frankie Beverly? Yeah, in that order. You know, and I wonder how many people took the jab. But not only that, right, Brother Black, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I was disheartened by how many elders in the community took the jab. That really took me back. And it made me question everything I thought I knew about our consciousness, about our activism, about our rhetoric. As you know, I constantly say that word. The shit be rhetoric. Because if you're talking it, but you're not living it, if you're not putting up that resistance, if you have that fear of what the ops is telling you, it's rhetoric. It's not knowledge no more. It's just some shit you like to say to make you feel good. Like when we talk about people in church or the mosque, and no knock on them. Shout out to those our family members in the mosque and in the church. But many of us who operate outside that paradigm, we call it rhetoric. So what do you call it within our movement when so many of our elders ran out there and did it and then justify why they did it? We know it's a weapon of mass destruction. Like, make it make sense to me. I mean, I and this is just no knock on it, but if you're scared, just say you're scared. Stop it now and let the warrior.
Well, sorry, brother. Go ahead, please.
I was done, brother. I was done.
Okay. The rhetorical question does have an answer, and the one word that we need is fear. I was looking for the acronym for fear. Fake evidence appearing real. It's fear. Right. It's nothing less, nothing more, nothing less, brother. Because if we remember, you know, and like you, go ahead, Tab, please. I want to hear what you're saying.
No, I was just in agreement with you because it's false evidence appearing real, and it's also fear everything and run, or face everything and rise. However we want to use that acronym of fear, we are supposed to be the warrior class. We are supposed to be the children of Malcolm, Nat Turner, Dr. King, whoever, because whatever icon we look at, they had the courage to stand against the enemies and say, I'm not dealing with this no more. I am changing my thought pattern. I am changing my behavior. I am changing the way I address you, and I'm going to change the way you address me. So we have to eliminate fear. That's what made them icons, because they were fearless. Dr. King knew that he wouldn't be alive to see the things that we have the freedom to do today. We can literally move in any neighborhood we want to, go in any store we want to. Dr. King couldn't do that. He couldn't go just anywhere. He wasn't alive when that bill was signed and passed. The civil rights bill, he took ass whoopings. So I always say Dr. King is one of our bravest. I don't care what nobody say. People call him a sellout, house Negro. Say what you want. Tad Cromwell is not going to enemy territory without weapons and my homies to deal with what I know could be imminent death. Dr. King went there. It's a different level of faith and courage that we've yet to see. When Dr. Khalid went to Jasper, Texas, peace be upon him, he took the soldiers and the AK-47. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go down there with a Bible. When they killed our brother James Byrd down in Jasper, Texas, Dr. Khalid rolled up in their enemy territory. Make no mistakes about it. But he took the false multiplier. You know what I'm saying? The great equalizer. So fear, we really have to start eliminating out of our vocabulary if we really believe what we're doing is our purpose and calling. We can't. Somebody told me recently, they said they admired how I stood 10 toes down and really didn't get poked up. I said, yo, because I stand by what I teach. Granted, I keep my mind open to learn new things, so my position is subject to change based on new information. I'm not that closed-minded and closed up. But one thing I did know is that wasn't in my benefit. And God bless my mom. I wish she never took it, but it is what it is. These are the things that has to happen so we can move forward. Like it's already pre-written and predestined for us to be who we are and do what we were sitting here to do. We got to stop being cowards. And I'm not saying the elders are cowards or nothing like that. I would never say that. However, the ops is good at the game of technology. So we watch Fat Man Scoop doing what he loved. Peace be upon him. But we watched him collapse too. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, did you do that? Because so many people did that. People tried to convince me not to stand on my square and do it. And I'm like, I can't. Because then I wouldn't be me. It would contradict everything I say I represent, everything I teach my family and my children. And it would make me a fraud. And I ain't perfect, but I damn sure don't want to be a fraud neither. But I'm off my soapbox.
Yeah, well, some people in regards to the snake bite, like our brother Asheos called it, some people there's another level of fear in what I'm about to say here. Some people took it because they feel responsible for their family and everybody in that family. And so in order to continue gaining that finance you just mentioned, they didn't want to lose out on that. And so they took it so that they could keep working and so on and so forth. And this is why Kyrie Irving is so important to us as a people beyond basketball, because he took a stand in a public thing, losing out on it. Wasn't about the money. See, this is where you have to separate getting your bread up from real life, because that real life situation or thinking could be putting you in that box right now or already past 2-3 years ago. And people have to learn how to resolute that so that they can come to a middle ground and examine it without fear, and then make your decision based on that. And if you of sound mind, in our opinion, you wouldn't have took it. But some people they can resign themselves to saying, I took it because I needed to take care of my family. It is what it is.
You know, right. It's funny because I want to give Sister Keisha the mic back, but I'm gonna wrap up with this because I love what you said, and that's exactly what I went through. Because my mother said, Tad, what if they tell you you're gonna lose your job? I said, Ma, you know me all my life. Since when I ever not got money? This ain't the only place with money. And see, that's what they do. They dangle that carrot in front of you. I said, Ma, you know I've been studying this stuff for at least 20 years. Because she used to think I was crazy. Even when I was with Dr. Khalid, she said, just be careful. Until she got to go to the Million Youth March, saw how the fake news propagated that he incited the riot, which he didn't do because the police was on some BS before Dr. Khalid even took the stage. So when he took the stage, he was just like, yo, because he saw they was aggressive. He said, yo, if they put their hands on you, you take these barricades, you know, and gave us our marching orders. So my mother was there in real time. So she's seen how they tried to shape the narrative. You know what I'm saying? But I say that because we fast forward 20-something years later and dealing with this snake bite. I was like, Ma, don't do it. Don't do it. I lost my job twice. The first time they said, yo, you got to do it. I said, nope. Everybody in the office did it. Personnel called me. Yo, did you do it? I said, no. They said, well, you know, we can't keep you on. I said, so what this mean? Don't come in Mondays. He was like, well, if you don't take the snake bite, then we're going to have to let you go. All right, no doubt. Boom. I filed an appeal. They told me to come back, but then I cited religious reasons and I cited the Constitution because by law, they cannot force you to take it. That was illegal. I cited the law. I gave them the documents. EEO asked me, what religion do I practice that warrants me not getting it? I said, nah, it's EEO. You know that's illegal for you to even ask me that. You know you can't even ask me that. But again, they laid me off. It was like, all right, well, you kick rocks. I had bread stack because I don't buy fly stuff no more. You know, I buy nice basic stuff, you know, nice decent stuff. But so I had money. But what I messed up, Sister Keisha, is I act like I ain't just lose my job. So I was still spending. I was everywhere. I was all around the country, all around the globe because I was leaving the country. And I blew through my bread. That was my bad. But what was the saving grace is I was still doing my personal training. So I had that money coming in too, but it wasn't coming in as fast as I was spending because I was still keeping up my lifestyle. But you know, I mean, that's multi-layered, but that ain't what tonight's conversation is about because we could dissect that when we talk about the presidential debate / comedy show of the exaggerator and the liar.
Let's get our Sister Marcia in here. Sister Mama, what's good? Africans on the rise in the building. Yeah.
Peace, Sister Mama. Where is my brother from another mother?
Where Wing Girl at?
My wings are right here.
You're like she's spinning.
You can't hear
we
me?
Can't see. Oh, okay.
We got you. We got you.
Where
you know, Brother Black got to put on his good glasses. Get the good ones in, Brother Black. Get the good ones.
How was your trip?
My trip was great.
That's good.
Great. And I'll show you guys some pictures at the closing of the show.
Okay.
But,
you rested, you relaxed, there you go, my brother.
Definitely, you know, and plus I was running around because, you know, I'm visiting family while I was out there, my in-laws. And just spending some time, you know, in the countryside with my brother-in-law, you know, a real OG out there. I'm telling you, they ain't nothing to play with out there. You know, hanging out with the real Tony Montana. He's a real one. He's a real one.
I am so happy that you had time to rest and, you know, get your mind right. I'm working on my rest station soon. Because what's going on out here is going to drive us bananas if we pay attention to it. And it's not only that, but even the people around you that want you to go into the loony bin, right? You're just like, listen, I'm not falling for the propaganda that you keep pushing on us. And if you know, we really have to take our time and analyze what they're saying to us. And it's unfortunate that many of our brothers and sisters don't have the capacity to sit and analyze. Don't worry about the hype that they're throwing in front of us, but worry about how it affects you and the things that you're doing. So it's a crazy, crazy world. But everybody that's supposed to have our back has our back and is carrying us through this, because as Brother Black always says, the next dimension is coming, the Anunnakis are saving us, so we're gonna be all right. The Flash is coming.
I don't know. And then now, like I said, Sister Ma, we will be on our third police commissioner here in New York.
Yes.
In Mr. Adams's administration.
Yes.
I have a story. Hold on one second. Let me. When I was leaving New York, at the airport, who was next to me leaving? Commissioner Caban. But he actually couldn't leave because I guess his assistant secretary or what have you gave him and his team misinformation. So actually he was booked for a later evening flight. So they were trying to figure out how to get him on an earlier flight. But these fools try to override FAA rules. And I'm not surprised things went left with him, because I'm standing there listening. I know you all travel internationally. So, prior to recent years or the jab, you can go on the plane and fill out your C5 form while you're there on the plane. Now you got to do your C5 before you even think about boarding the plane. Oh, yeah. So for those of you who are going to be traveling internationally this year and beyond, complete that C5 before you get there. But anyway, and they give you a confirmation email and you show that when you board. But anyway, so
Mr. Keisha, what is that form though?
Oh, the C5, it's your declaration when you're going into another country. Normally, as you know, they give it to you while you're on the plane. You can fill it out. If you have anything to declare or whatever you bring in or what have you. Now you have to complete those forms prior to you boarding the plane, right? So if you don't do it when you book your tickets, because I tried to do it when I booked my tickets, but unfortunately there was some issues on their end. So anyway, when you get to drop your bags off on the belt, there is a scan there. You can scan it and complete the C5 while you're standing there. So first of all, they didn't want to complete a C5. Then they realized he wasn't supposed to be there. He was on a later evening flight. Then they tried to get everybody to get out the way, like he was God Almighty. I'm not moving one bit in what I said. Don't play with me. So anyway, his team or whatever, they put him back in the vehicle or whatever. And then he came out, with his Hawaii 5 shirt on and standing there talking or what have you. But the mere fact that they try to play this game with the airline to get him on an earlier flight. So what you're saying is because the flights were completely booked, so you're trying to bump somebody off so he can get on. Nope. The dude from the FAA, so you can't do that. You can't do it.
He didn't offer anybody cash. I know I was traveling one time. They was like, yo, we'll give you $3,000 if you don't travel today or take a later flight. And I was like, oh. But, I was talking to an elder who, it was just so miraculous how we met, right? But I'm speaking with this elder and she's like, don't do it. Your vacation is your vacation. You don't know what's going to happen next. $3,000 ain't worth it. And I was like, what? All right. I just got to take this off of me right now. She was like, do you want me to slap you? And I was like, oh no, I'm good.
Nah,
but that's the
thing.
But that's the thing. That's the high, the heroin, the itch that they give you. Like, I heard the brothers talking earlier about not leaving your job or doing all of these things, but they dangle the fact that you won't have currency, you won't be able to do this, you won't. So they put that fear in you that I'm not going to survive without $2, so I gotta do it. Nah, B, you got 2 feet, walk wherever you gotta go. Whatever you gotta do, you can compensate. The universe is good. And grow food. If you got pots, grow food in your pots in your house, in your apartment. You can do it. We can thrive, but we're too busy trying to survive. But that's it. I'm so glad that you had a good time.
It's funny you said that, because my brother-in-law, he grow everything. Everything, Ted.
Yeah, man.
Everything he grows.
I need to come over. I need to drop over to get some
He got the
lessons.
vegetations on one side. He got goats and chickens over here.
It's crazy. Love it.
But we'll get into all of that later. We got so much to discuss. Brother Black, going back to Brother Anunnaki over here. Yes, sir.
Before we quit, hold on, before real quick, I just want to make something known to those outside of New York up there in the audience right now. Eric Adams and the police commissioner being under pressure right now is nothing new. About 20 years ago, when Giuliani was the mayor of New York, his police commissioner did a bid for him. His name was Bernard Kerik. And now he's an analyst on CNN and all kind of news shows and all this and that. So they take care of each other. Now, the question I want to ask you before we go to the next segment is, what is the charges against Adam? Let me rephrase the question. He had an investigation earlier this year or late last year where they went in his crib and seized computers and phones and all kind of other electronic apparatus. Is this a continuation of that investigation, or is this another whole totally new investigation? And what are the charges if so?
Well, first of all, no, there is no charges, at least propelled to the public, of any wrongdoing. Right. So allegedly, the FBI confiscated the mayor's and a lot of his staff and campaign staff, their tablets, phones, and things of that nature for whatever reason. Now, this has to do with the police commissioner and the what do you call it? Board of Education, what's his name? School chancellor's girlfriend and the school chancellor's brother just had their devices confiscated as well. However, as I said, no one has listed any crime or wrongdoing, but again, nobody is seizing everybody's devices for nothing. And I think one of the problems that I see, the gross negligence in using nepotism to fill positions within the city. Now, I get it. Maybe he wants to fill it with our folks. However, you cannot fill it with people who are inept to do the job. And I think that has been a big problem for some people that I personally know who have worked within the city and have resigned from working for the municipality, complain of the very same things. Sometimes I watch the city contract announcements that come out. It's on YouTube. Anybody can watch it in your very own cities. They are public for you to watch on YouTube. But anyway, I'm noticing, the level of nepotism is problematic. And you can see from some of the people or some of the entities that are gaining jobs, gaining contracts, that they really don't have the expertise. So there could have been some wrongdoing, but we don't know because they haven't released anything yet. So it's all speculative. Now they're going to the police commissioner, Edward Cabone, has made an announcement that he's going to be stepping down. He just got in here like a couple of months ago. So this is crazy. Your first police commissioner resigned. And now it's issues with this one. allegedly because his twin brother, who is in the nightclub industry, if you will, have been stifling favors in the name of the commissioner in the city. So that could be it as well. But again, there really isn't much information that has been given. But you can pretty much see, Brother Black, the shenanigans that are going on. The same thing happened in Dalton, what do you call it? Illinois, with Mayor Tiffany, the super mayor, or whatever she wants to call herself. The same things have been going on over there. I think that people get in positions and forget. Let's talk about people who look like us. Get in positions and forget that no matter who cheers you on, in particular here it's the hats for Mayor Eric Adams. No matter who cheers you on, the other side is digging you in your back. And unless you have clean hands, and Eric Adams does not, they're going to use everything in their arsenal to use you. The people in your circle, look at the people he endorsed. As Brother Tad mentioned earlier, you had the bishop. He was championing him too. Come to find out, he a crook too. But we already knew that. If you know, you know. We already knew that. Then you got what's his name? Oh man, his name escapes me. But he causes trouble too. Then you giving Diddy a key to the city, and he's a goddamn freak pervert. So your circle is bad. Your entity is bad. Everything around you. You chose this chancellor's girlfriend to be a part of your administration. What are they looking at her for? What are they looking at his brother for? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Black people want to learn. You are going to learn in this country that they are not playing with you. Go ahead, Brother Tag.
Before we leave the mayor, did we even talk about the Chinese person on his staff that was giving secrets away? And
come on, Tad, tell it.
Yeah, like that story's still unfolding. But it's funny because you did mention it years ago that they seized his phones. Why? His phones, plural, personal and business. I mean, but this case is just developing. We here on ground zero in New York, but we already saw how his policies unfold and know that it wasn't good enough, because right before de Blasio left, de Blasio mandated all city employees to get the jab, even though it's illegal. And we was like, yo, 3 weeks before he bounced, we was like, all right, he wilding, but he get ready to be out of here anyway. Eric Adams should know better. Eric Adams came through the door and said, I'm upholding the mandate. 6 feet apart and take the jab or lose your job. But we was the ones keeping the city going. And I'm like, word, this is how you do, former civil servant, man, Mr. Officer, Ossifer. And a friend of his told me some time ago, because I thought it was a good thing when he was running. He's like, you'll see. I was like, I'm saying that. He said, yo, I know Eric. You'll see. He ain't say nothing bad about him. He just said, you'll see. And I was like, wow. So even the ones who was once down with the grassroots homies ain't holding up to the bargain. Like you said, he's controlled by the small hats. And it's disheartening, because I seen him out about town. We used to talk and kick it. I'm talking about Eric Adams, like, yo, bomb. And he act like he down for the people, but he not. And you could tell by his policies. And speaking to the policies, I do want to touch on the Kamala and the Trump thing. That was very, very entertaining. The liar and the exact.
Before you move to that, Brother Tad, also the mayor gave my cousin Keisha a proclamation at her funeral.
God bless
Eric Adams. Eric Adams did that. He came to her funeral. But anyway,
that's what I'm saying. Like, he was really in the community with the people. But
allegedly.
No, I mean, like, he was physically, he came to your cousin's funeral. My point is like, you're there, but your policies are not representing us. The things you do, the people's interests you cater to, it's not us. You're not blessing us, my dude. And
he's in it for himself. He's in it for himself.
Clearly.
And like I said, this level of nepotism is going to stifle everything. But more developments will unfold, and we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Shout out to the BK William Mackey History Club. Got to give them some love. They had Dr. Arthur Lewis, I think, last week, so you can catch that replay also on our Thorough Black Talk Facebook page. And remember, family, I said September 2025, all roads lead to the BK William Mackey History Club, because we are having a special event particularly for our brothers. So you'll have our brother Siraj, who's coming in from the UK. You're going to have brother Tad there. You have quite a few who are going to come in, and we are going to deal with this mental health issue. So call your uncles, your brothers, your cousins, your husbands, your boyfriends, your side dudes, all of them. Call them over there to the BK William Mackey.
Your side dude, your baby daddy, and your husband all going to be fighting.
All of them.
Shout out to our brother Siraj. Me and him was chopping it up yesterday. Had a nice conversation on some things he and I are working on with some other brothers around the globe. It's a beautiful thing. Black men reclaiming their place in the world.
There you go. So, got to get into this debate. I know Sister Marcia, she ready. Look at she hype. Huh, Brother Tad? I'm going to let them go tonight, family, so buckle up.
Marcia, ladies first.
So, we had this presidential debate with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris the other night. Now, it was hosted by ABC. ABC's parent company is Disney. So we must start with that. Okay? So that leftist agenda is heavy, if you will, on the debate stage. So you guys were here. You guys saw it live and direct. I had to catch the replay. But Sister Marcia, give me your thoughts on what it is that you witnessed or heard during this presidential debate that took place earlier this week.
So, thank you for the two candidates. Well, the only two candidates that the world allows us to know for being present. I found it really, as a woman, it's hard for other sisters to hear me talk about sisters, right? Because I'm tough on my sisters. I think I'm a little tougher on my sisters than I am on my brothers. I need to fix that a little bit. But, her posture, right? She came in mad aggressive, mad like, oh, I'm going to shake your hand. I'm going to let you know who's going to be the champ out here tonight. And at some point you're like, okay, I see you take charge. All right, you're in the boardroom. But after that, I don't know. I don't think I saw anything else from her. And I am always very interested in foreign policy interests and how they talk about foreign policy. So I really waited on that. I was like, when they going to talk about, the bombs and stuff like that? And she clearly stated, I don't think anyone heard it, that I will continue to give Israel the weapons that they need to defend themselves. That's what she said.
I heard that.
And everything else that's going around right now, no one is talking about that. But she clearly says bombs are going to be dropped, and she doesn't give a damn. As a mother, that's very hurtful. And I know some people aren't mothers, and that's all right. But as a mother, I don't care, I definitely understand our race war, but I also understand the lives of people. And to say that you are willing to eliminate a group of people so that other people can get land. You're a perfect colonizer. You're a perfect patsy for the colonizer. And my sisters, we must do better because we are not colonizers. We are mothers. We are the ones that created all of the gene pools that are out here, whether we want to accept it or not. This is who we are. So that really offended me. On the Trump stuff. Trump was just Trump, So from at the end of the day, there was no winner, there was no loser. No one really blew off the stage. As aggressive as she was, Trump remained himself. And that is clear. No one could ever say, oh, he fell down. She was so aggressive. She put him in his place. She didn't do none of that. None of that. So when people are saying that, I'm just like, what debate were you watching, or what critical analysis skills do you have to watch a debate that dictates the future of your life? So, so that's 1 and 2. And then 3, this whole idea of people eating cats and dogs and stuff like that. And it's a trigger because it attacks my people, right? The people where the boat dropped off my ancestors. And so these people are out here in Ohio trying to live their best lives. And you're saying they're eating cats and dogs. But not too long ago, we were talking about the Chinese man serving us cats and dogs. Let's just be clear. We kind of forget about that part, right? We're not saying this part that, oh yeah, we're eating chicken lo mein. It's cat food. It's a cat. It's a this. It's a that. That's dog meat. That beef and broccoli. The chicken and broccoli. Blah 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 blah. This is what we've been saying. And now you want to sit there and drop that on, my family. And my family is eating because they hungry. If they hungry, they eating. At least they're not serving it up to you. And, so that part was a little bit triggering. And for it to continue and continue on the intersphere, and the intersphere, no one is ever saying that, hey, what about the Chinese people that are feeding it to us? No one is talking about that, but they just want to attack Black no matter where Black comes from. So to sit there and say that the Black context is Black America versus, there is no Black versus. All Black deserve better. We are all in the same hole. And just remember that all these wars that they are doing in foreign countries are ways to empty out these foreign countries and send them where? Here in America. So in America, you have all these people coming here because those folks, the American government, the American policies, their foreign policies are emptying out foreign countries. So the people have nowhere to go. They are trying to preserve themselves, whether we like it or not. This is a self-preservation action. When we were nomads and we knew we were nomads, that's what we did as a people. That's how we, as African people, as the original man and woman, pollinated the world, the world, because this is what we did. We were nomads. We traveled and we seeded wherever we rested was our home. We weren't Rolling Stones like Papa was a Rolling Stone. Hey. But we laid our hats and we made our homes, and now we're forcing our hats on people. And I understand, but it is our duty right now, us Africans here in America, no matter how you define yourself, I will always say that we are all Africans. Us Africans must do a better job with immigrants than our elders did and our ancestors did, because there are dialogues that didn't happen. And then there's this one dialogue that's happening right now with some company in Ohio talking about, oh, the Haitians that come here, they're good workers. They don't come in high. They don't do this and they don't do that. And I was so offended. I was so offended for my people that were here before immigration started, because the fact that you dropped alcohol into communities, right? During the time of our political imprisonment, where we knew we were in shackles. You dropped alcohol. Now, during the time that we're reclaiming ourselves, you drop heroin and crack into our communities, making us unable to work the way we need to work the way we know we are supposed to work, because we're so strung out. We got this itch. We gotta feed the itch. And now they're trying to make the itch currency. And you're either going to fall for the itch or you're going to stand for something. That's why I didn't take that plane ticket. And brothers and sisters, it is time for us to not take that flight and really realize and help our brothers and sisters that are coming in to realize that the system is faulty no matter where you land. It was faulty in your home. That's why you couldn't stand up and fight there. And now you're here. You better stand up and fight because you got nowhere else to go.
And if they stand on the wrong side of the fight, to hell with you. You can die with them.
They go down. I'm not playing that. Oh my God, it's okay. No, they go down. You
Facts.
are in a war. You couldn't fight at home. Well, you're gonna fight here, whether you like it or not.
Facts. Go ahead, brother Tad.
I want to say this, right? I said the debate was between the liar and the exaggerator. Kamala being the liar, Trump being the exaggerator, but only bolstering his ego. Sister Marcia, it's that time you and I have this friendly discord / disagreement. People were eating cats and dogs. It's on video. I just sent Sister Keisha one of the videos.
That's all right. People are hungry.
No, listen. No, because it's a real seriousness. I get where you coming from, sis. But that's why I said earlier in the show, I expand my mind to receive new information, because these people are eating cats and dogs alive. Not Haitian people, though. I'm not saying Haitian people specifically. That's a narrative that was put out there because, of course, you know, Haitians always got to be vilified for the history of being the first nation to stand up against white supremacy. It's not just Haitian people. This would look like a South American black person. However, I'm talking about the craziness as we opened up and we talked about, did the jab mess with the heart and the mind? Because people are literally out here eating other people's pets. Literally, people are recording because they can't believe it. Like the brother in Florida years ago that was eating somebody's face. Remember that? A friend of mine, she's Haitian. She went to school with the dude. She was like, he had to get some bad drugs because he was literally eating somebody's face. People are literally eating cats and dogs. That's a fact. He's not exaggerating with that. And this ain't the cap for Trump. This is for us to tell the truth about what's really happening. Kamala is a liar. Let's really be on record for that. Trump said they want to take babies to full term and then abort them. He was right. I saw the video of a bill saying that if a child may have some type of defect, that the mother, after she's dilated and delivered, she can abort the baby. See, this is some tricky shit we really dealing with. And I'm not saying this to cape for Trump because I had to do my research. The information is out there. What it is, it sounds so far-fetched what the left is doing. We don't believe it. We don't believe a mother would give birth to a child and then delete it. But that was the case in West Virginia. That is a real thing. So it sounds crazy, but it is really happening. And I say that because people don't understand the level of wickedness we're fighting. That's why I was upset with our elders that even took the jab. Like, what the fuck is we doing? This shit is really happening in real time. People ask why I be so passionate and adamant. I'm like, yo, people really losing their life. I lost my mother, the most important person in the world to me, following this system that we keep talking about. I keep telling people, for me, this shit is not rhetoric. For other people, it's rhetoric because you ain't never lose a homie to the drug game or to the street violence. You ain't been there. So it's not a reality for you. You ain't lose your moms following the advice of the so-called medical expert, fuck Dr. Fauci. You ain't lose your family members to this shit. And I told my mother, I said, Ma, you know I've been studying this for at least 20 years, please. And she gave all of the rhetoric that was handed to us. Well, you want to be safe around the elders. You want to, and she said, well, Tad, because she called my grandmother mother. She's like, well, you know, I got mother in the house and I want to travel. I said, Ma, I just came back from Mexico. Like, it's not that serious. I went to Mexico, Miami, Atlanta. I went Pennsylvania. I was all over the place. COVID prices was cheap. Flights was cheap. Everything was cheap during COVID. And I was traveling. I was free to move about the country. And I'm like, Ma, it's not that they telling us. She took it and I lost her. I'm glad that we had the relationship we have. I love my mother to life. But I lost her. And one thing I learned, Sister Keisha, Brother Black, Sister Marcia, to the audience. First thing I learned, they said, when you come into this movement, be prepared to lose people you love. That's the first thing I heard. That's the first thing I heard. They will leave you because your thoughts and ideas will be different. You may lose them in this fight. This shit is real for me. This shit ain't just rhetoric for me. It's real pain that exists for me that keeps me going and moving. So I'm not caping for Trump. But shit, what he's saying is not a lie. It sounds crazy, but this is what these people doing. Here you got a woman who's claiming she's a black woman. She's not. She boasts that Indian shit all she want. All day. You said it, Sister Marcia. We have to identify African. When we say black, black describes how you look, as Dr. Clark would say. When has she ever said I'm African or I'm of African descent? When we talk about black in the U.S., we know the social construct we're talking about. We're talking about those who are descendants of slaves. We're talking about those who identify with blackness that was here before the Civil Rights Movement, because we're not going to negate our West Indian families that was here during Jim Crow law, because they were subjected to the same laws we was. I'm not doing that part. So when I say foundational blacks, I include Caribbean people that were here prior to the Civil Rights Movement, because they was here fighting right alongside of us. We wasn't like, oh, you from Jamaica, you from Trinidad, Guyana, you not black. You was black when you got here. You were subjected to the same laws. When we talk about those Johnny-come-latelys who just stepped off the plane and now want to distance themselves from black Americans, when we talk about that, but that's a whole nother conversation. What I'm saying is Kamala Harris don't identify with us. You can look at her policies. And even for Trump recognized that the courts weaponized the system, right? He pardoned rappers, but will he pardon Mumia? Will he pardon political prisoners that fought for black people? Or even Kamala? Is she going to pardon Assata Shakur since she claims she's a black woman?
Absolutely not.
Of course not. So what are we talking about as black folks? What are we really talking about when everybody act like they're on black people's side and we got people who literally dedicated and gave their lives for this, for our liberation, for our sovereignty? And our sovereignty ain't just physically, it's mentally, for us to think for ourselves. Because as you stated, ABC, with them people, they trying to tell us what to think. Roland Martin, faggot, his fat ass is trying to tell us what to think. I'll be damned if any of these chump-ass beta dudes tell me what a heterosexual dude is, what a masculine man is. I tell people all the time, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, off of Fulton Street. Let's be clear. My name is Tad. I'm not hiding from nobody. I'm not hiding behind no African name. I'm not hiding behind no religion. I'm not behind no policy, no politicians. I stand on what I stand on, and you be strong enough to move me, because nobody gonna tell me no different. Not Roland. None of these people, not Kamala, not Trump. But what's crazy is when I feel it's crazy, right, Sister Keisha, Brother Black, when I got to agree with a white man. I'm agreeing with Trump with a lot of things he's saying. They are eating cats. They are terminating children. And who are they putting that in? Our community. They putting that on our community. And
but Brother Tad, I don't disagree on eating.
One second, Sister Marcia. Y'all know my parents is from a foreign country. Y'all already know that. Sister Marcia knows as well as her parents. In shithole countries, that's shithole countries because they made them shithole countries.
There you go. And
I just wanted to add on to what you were saying.
Right. And that's why I said prior to the Civil Rights Movement, we didn't separate our blackness. You from Jamaica, I'm from Mississippi, we can't rock. We didn't do that. But with these Johnny-come-latelys who's coming on with these new agendas saying, I'm not doing that just for black folks, but you're doing something for migrants. All this money, you want to have a meeting to have a conversation whether we should get reparations. When it was already decided that we was getting reparations. We've already promised the 40 acres and a mule. Come on, let's not act like these things are the problem. Let's not act like we didn't learn it. Black people in America got the most unique experience, particularly those who are descendants of slaves, those whose families were Native American, because we're not gonna act like black folks and natives didn't get together. Even when you read Dr. Ivan Van Sertima's book, They Came Before Columbus, he talked about when the first Europeans brought the first African here in the 1500s, how they landed in the Florida Keys and the Seminoles fought the Europeans back. And they was like, oh shit, the Africans already knew the people here. They rocked together and fought us, and we had to go back. And then it came 100 years later in 1619. All of this stuff is documented. Why Wall Street is called Wall Street? Because the indigenous people was fighting the Europeans that was bringing the first stock on the New York Stock Exchange. Africans, they was fighting them. So they had to build a wall so they could sell Africans uninterrupted. Like, if we gonna talk history, let's talk facts. But I ain't even talking about history. I'm talking about what we doing right now and how we move forward. History is important. History is important, but I'm concerned about the future. What kind of society are we going to create for our children? It's more important than what we did. Stevie Wonder made us, and I know Sister Keisha ain't a big Stevie Wonder fan, but that's my dude. But he made a song called We Can't Live Our Life in the Pastime Paradise. Nobody care about what you used to do. One of my OGs used to say, yo, yesterday score don't win today's game. Nobody care what you have, what you got today. What you going to do now? And I get passionate about this, right? And Sister Marcia, of course, you know I love you. This ain't no attack against you. But
I'm not attacked. I like to hear you spill the knowledge. I just want to prove the fact that, wait, hold on. I just want to prove the fact that the conversation of foreigners eating cats is not new. And for us to be like expounding this whole big energy on the fact that we were talking about Chinese people feeding us cats, not just, not just 5 years ago.
Listen, let me say this, Sister Marcia, because Trump said it, now it has no validity. When Trump came,
absolutely not. I want to prove the point that we know that this has been happening,
but not raw. Not raw. These people eating cats and dogs.
How do we know?
I said it's the Sister Keisha.
Because we got the videos. That's why. We got the videos. But hold on. Because I was just letting y'all spill.
We know it has never been raw in the past.
Well, we're not saying that part. What I'm saying, right? And not to cut you off.
We know it's raw in the past because remember, we had Dr. Antoinette Harrell on here who told you about May Louise Miller's family, who was sharecropping on a plantation, who ate snakes raw.
So it's not.
If you don't have no food, you're going to eat raw. But I want this message
you don't have no fire
so that they would know.
Right.
This ain't the place for you.
Right.
Right. But what I'm saying, Sister Marcia, right, is I'm talking about the mindset of the masses, because the people are the power. We can't attack Trump even when he speaks truth because it sounds far-fetched, was my point. It's not that they not eating cats and dogs. We've been knew that. Chinese people don't eat the shit they sell us. We get that part. What I'm saying is that don't be so caught up that you want to ride with Kamala because Trump is a white man who's really speaking a lot of truths, though he may exaggerate some things. Because he did say that the virus did come from China, and everybody called him racist when he said that. He did say, let's close the borders because this next administration want to let everybody in. He said, let's take care of our people here first, which is all true. Even when you look at his convictions, right? I checked it out. What he was convicted of was paying his lawyer to pay Stormy Daniels to shut up. The funny part about it was, they're not convicting Stormy Daniels for blackmail and extortion. He did, and you know what they said? Because that wasn't the case. It wasn't blackmail and extortion. They were saying that he paid his lawyer in checks and cash, but he said he did it so his lawyer could pay taxes. He did it on legit paper, but that's why he's not locked up. But that's not even my point. That's not even my point. My point is that we're not intelligent enough to know the difference between truths and lies, because he exaggerates things he says, but Kamala is straight lying. See, when people are talking to you, you could tell a liar because they're trying to convince you. You can tell who's telling the truth because they're matter-of-factly about their tone. Though Trump is matter-of-factly, he's exaggerating some things. But I would give him the debate. because everything that he said years ago that they're not bringing up, he did say China did create the flu. He said all this. Remember, he called it the Chinese flu. They said it's racist. They was talking about gain of function. He said Dr. Fauci is the culprit. Everybody was like, no, Trump is racist. He said, let's build the wall. They're going to empty the jails, send the crazies over here. Everybody said, no, that's not true. But we have to live with it. We are living it. We can't go to our gated communities. These people are in our hoods. I told y'all last year, I worked with these people in the shelters. They were committing violent acts and not going to jail. I myself personally called the cops because I told them, yo, we're not doing violence here. They were robbing people and beating them up with my own 2 eyes. We called the cops because I can't be super tagged on the job. I got to call the police. I can't fight a victim for them and I lose my money. I called the police. An hour or two later, they are back. And they're back as the champion because they homies is clapping for them because they're not in jail. 2 hours later, they're back. But let Tad had robbed somebody and beat them up. I'm going to jail. I'm seeing
the system is on their side and not on,
because we still talking about reparations and these people are getting all the money. And again, to your point, I'm not mad at people looking for better lives for themselves. I'm mad at the people who facilitating the nonsense, giving them my money. I pay taxes. Every time I work, every day I go to work, I pay taxes. Every time I do overtime, I pay taxes on that. Every time I spend money, I pay taxes. I pay my taxes. Why is that going to people who haven't worked a day here? Like really make it make sense.
Like your friend Trump said.
Off my soapbox.
Like your friend Trump said, that's the lure. That's the lure so that they can have new Democratic voters. That's what they lured every immigrant. Yes. That's the mistletoe. That's the dangle. That's the this. That's the that makes you like, well, what are you talking about? The Democrats are the best. The Democrats are this. But remember, our first Democrat, quote unquote, Democratic president, Andrew Jackson, had more than 100 political prisoners or captive people in his house and had children with them. So forcefully. So we're not talking, and this is what I'm saying, like we definitely have to get on the mindset of doing more critical discussions than these hypothetical discussions and really look at what's going on in totality, because people don't come here because they want to. Why would I come to a country when I got food growing in my garden? Or in my backyard, I got cows, I got cattle, I got horses, I got everything. Because something is interrupted there, so I got to come here, and I got to live in these shackles.
See, here's the issue that I have with that, but I'll get into that later. I want to continue with what you two were talking about, so that we don't go off topic. Here is the commentary, and then we'll play the video that Brother Tad is talking about. Here we go, family.
Field, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And in Springfield, they're eating.
Cat, stand up. Someone got rubber gloves. She's covered in blood. She destroyed that cat. This is she had cat hair on her mouth.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hands. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate.
And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that.
You talk about extreme. Illegal migrants are now being accused of killing a bald eagle in Nebraska with plans to cook it for dinner. The sheriff's department says these are the rifles they used to kill it, but federal you talk about extreme.
Where'd they get that rifle from?
bro. Like everyone on TikTok, on Facebook, making these jokes to get everything fucking funny. Like, imagine you being homeless for a whole fucking year for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck? This shit is not fun. This shit is not cool, bro. They really out here decapitating animals and y'all are making jokes out of it. Imagine if you went outside and you saw your dog's head decapitated on the fucking ground. Like, are you, dude, why y'all thinking this shit's a joke? It's not a joke. I don't feel comfortable walking anywhere. Like, what the fuck? I should be able to feel safe in my own city.
Again, things are happening. These things have to be brought to the fore, and we have to pay attention to these things. And also, as Sister Marcia said, they are spewing narratives to get you to believe a certain thing. But instead of Kamala Harris Imhoff, I don't know why she doesn't use Imhoff, but that is her last name.
It's not black enough.
Why would I want to walk around with that white
giggling
name?
And saying that what he was saying was outlandish. If I were a candidate, and if I were running in her place, yeah, he got me with that dinger, but I would have came back and say yes, but we plan to correct that situation because we treated Haitian people so terribly in the beginning of our administration, beating them across the border with whips and horses chasing them. So again, unless you know, and see, again, our people, we have short memories, and I'm watching a lot of the comments under these posts. People have short memories, and this duopoly depends on that, because you can't even argue the point because your memory is short. So your argument is off course. And a lot of times we use the wrong verbiage, and that's why your arguments can be destroyed. As it relates to the letter crew, people like to call the biggest culprits, the one who just did the recent mass shooting of, these trans folks, that people like to call them trans. No, they're invaders. And that's your homework assignment this week, family. I want you to look up the legal definition of invaders and the dictionary word of invaders. And you will see that Sister Keisha is telling you the right thing to identify these folks with. Because, like I said, if something comes across me, I'm going to fight this sucker in the court of law by myself, pro se. I'm not playing. So I'm giving you the tools. Don't call them that. Call them invaders. That's what they are. But Brother Ray mentioned that, George Soros is behind the shenanigans. Now, speaking of George Soros, because, people are saying Dick Cheney is now promoting Kamala Harris Imhoff in her race or her bid for for president. But you have to remember, Dick Cheney is an advocate. He makes money with and a co-conspirator of the military-industrial complex. So he knows that getting Mrs. Imhoff into office, the wars will continue. The money will continue. You have to remember that when she and President Joe Biden, who you don't hear of anymore, when they came into office, Sleepy Joe, when they brought him in, their economist was a BlackRock former employee, allegedly. But we're going to give you a little bit of background, and we'll come right back and we'll get into it. Here we go, family.
Kamala Harris, Joe Biden's vice president. She partnered up with BlackRock, the company that's acquiring almost all the assets, one of the biggest firms in the world with almost $10 trillion in assets under management. They're getting private information from the Biden administration. I bet you didn't know this. The Prospectors learned that Michael Pyle, currently a global chief investment strategist at a leading asset management firm BlackRock, will become part of the Biden-Harris administration in the coming days. Pyle, an Obama administration veteran who has also worked on economic policy with Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, will become the chief economist to Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, according to sources familiar with the transition. Powell will be the third former BlackRock official to join the administration. This is why it's so important to be financially independent and successful on your own merit and never rely on governments. What we've learned over the last couple of years is that they'll promise you the world and likely deliver nothing. The less they give you, the more power and control that they have. And the more power and control they have, the more wealth. This is going to be Kamala Harris's next home. What do you think about all of this? Seems shady, right? Drop your comments below. Let's talk about it.
You see, people are making moves to continue war. And even if former President Trump, even if he is elected or selected for the office of presidency, it will continue. The military industrial complex runs this country, period. All of their tentacles control all of you, whether it be FBI, CIA, NSA, OMA, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're all under their tentacles to control all of us. That is who is really behind the Iron Curtain. And as Sister Marcia said, these people are fleeing because of turmoil in their own lands that are caused by the US, Europe, Great Britain, Brussels, France, and everybody else. However, everybody has access to these. And today, there is no excuse for ignorance, because if you can use this to get here, you can also use that to understand what's happening here. And you should also fight where you stand. Fight where you stand. And a lot of these countries are falling to the US, to Europe, to China, to France, is because your military sucks. Haiti is suffering now because it has no military. That's why gangs or whatever can come in and terrorize the folks, because it has no military.
And who dismantled the military of Haiti? Bill Clinton.
And how did that happen?
Because everybody wants to, the blanc. I have a blanc. I have a blanc. The blanc is
you have to fight where you are, because those folks should be not 6 feet, 10 feet under.
Right.
If you got that energy to attack your fellow brothers and sisters, go after. Listen, I'm not condoning what happened January 6th, but people got ticked off. You understand what I'm saying? Fight where you are. Because if you're running, we can't close them off and take them. They should have been gone a long time ago, but everybody keep running except us. Everybody keeps running. It's not going to work. It's not going to listen. I have never been in the military, but I damn sure can read, and I've hung out and dated some of the biggest OGs on the planet. So in order for you to take the block, you better understand what's on the block. You can't take it unless you don't know what's there. Y'all don't listen to OG Wisdom podcast. They be telling y'all what they used to do. I be listening. So they tell you. You understand what I'm saying? You can't keep running. You can't keep inconveniencing folks. You cannot keep taking and thinking people going to rock with you. Sister Marcia said conversations need to be had. You can't have conversations if you keep coming in and advancing yourself and then condemning the people who've been fighting for you to be here in the first goddamn place. Whether we know it or not, and I say this time and time again, it's the voters that made this happen. This is all on your hands, especially if you've been voting for the past 25 to 30 years. This stuff is on you, because you put these people in positions of power to pass legislation to undermine everything that you want. Everything that you want. You keep engaging in it. So now you got folks who are coming in from all over the place who continue to undermine everything that we are trying to do. And I wish people take a deeper look at the argument between Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois. You missed some things. You got it twisted. I'm telling you this. Go back and read. It's available. There are interviews with their wives and all of that. Go listen to them on the archives. Y'all missed a few things. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing this. We have to figure out a different plan. Now, whether it's Chinese folks, you got Afghanis, you got Sri Lankans, all these folks who are coming in across the border, but ain't nobody throwing a highlight on them. Do you know why? The Chinese are the number ones with the anchor babies over here. But you know why? Because they have a power that the rest of y'all don't have. They have a nation that have their backs, even though they fled.
And we don't.
You don't, and that's the problem.
That is our problem.
You have to fight where you are.
Yep.
You can't fight from outside. Like
can I address that?
I can't fight. Hold on. I can't fight to control this block from Bed-Stuy. It ain't gonna work. I can send people, it don't work. But if I'm the general, I gotta fight where I am. Go ahead, Brother Black.
As far as the Chinese people, we have to remember the deep state exists all over the world. So you have governments or organizations in charge of running these countries. And some factions have deep state that's stronger than the supposed good guys and vice versa. So with that said, a lot of the Chinese coming here, and most of them are military-aged men, are coming here with the intent to fight on either side because it's both. I just wanted to address that topic in particular.
I got you on that. And that's another reason why we can't trust folks.
Right. And the Chinese people, whether they're fighting on one side or the other, they still have their country supporting them. Most African people, or all African people, no matter where they come from, don't have no allegiance to any country. No country has allegiance to them.
But see, that's the thing, Sister Marcia.
Blood
Good point. Good point. That's the thing. But you would have those same folks who will come here and say, well, I'm Dominican.
That's
or
right.
I'm this and I'm that.
They don't understand.
But hold on, sis. Hold on. Let me finish my point. Because I let you and Tag go. I let y'all cook. But my point is this. You know that to be so. Yet you come here. You come here and you fight against those of us who've been fighting here. That's problematic. You can't do that anymore. And we past conversations. We at action level right now because if we continue to lose, that's why y'all losing. That's why you losing. And then you come here and you side with the enemy.
But sis,
Brother Black said it don't matter. Listen, the deep state is all over. So why are you still fighting to uphold it? And then you look your nose down at us. You must be out your goddamn mind.
These people don't understand. Could you imagine?
They understand.
No, they don't.
Understand. I'm not giving people a pass. We walk around with computers.
Listen, sis. You're making $3 or $20 a month as salary. This is your income. You come over here, they're going to give you $800, $900. They've never seen this amount of capital before in their world, in their lifetime.
Hold on, sister. Hold on. I said this before. Does it make it right? You're running. Listen, you're running from turmoil. But you want to commit turmoil against the people here. Do you think that's right? So everybody has a moral compass. That means to tell, if you're willing to go ahead and take it, if Blacksmith got a plate of food and he get ready to sit down and eat his plate of food, who the hell is tired of coming in and snatch the chicken off his plate? Right. You can't do that. That's problematic. I'm not giving people no passes.
Sis, I don't disagree with anything that we're saying. All I'm saying is in terms of the mind of an immigrant who's coming in, who's never had a decent salary, who's never had a decent anything, they are just blinded to the salary. I've had this discussion recently with a cousin. Right now, I'm literally texting back and forth like, we can't do this. This is not how we're supposed to operate. You came in the crack era. You saw things. I didn't get the privilege of seeing it through your eyes, but you saw it through a different lens. And in that lens that you saw it, you need to understand what they're doing now. Because if that white man in Ohio is saying that these Haitian people that are coming in are good workers, they don't come in late, they don't smell like weed, they don't this, they don't that, but yet your government legalized the weed that the brothers or sisters are smoking, and then you're tormenting them about that? Absolutely not. That's not how it goes. And unfortunately, we have to have a truly holistic conversation. There is 2 tiers of it, and we need to have empathy on both sides. They need to have empathy for the original people here in America, and we need to have empathy as though we don't want to have it with those coming in, because they don't understand the system that is here. They understand the system that broke up their country. They understand that, but they don't understand what it looks like here, because they've never felt it. They've never had a home, a steady home. Yes, brother.
I agree with what you're saying. I think the point you're missing is we're not talking about those on the low level trying to get their life together. We're talking about those who come off the plane and jump into politics. So clearly you're not making $2 an hour. You were educated by this system. You're upholding the white supremacy, if for lack of better words. You're holding up the status quo. We're not, because I get what you're saying. I don't knock nobody looking for a better life. We're talking about those who get in position of power and then be like, later for y'all. That's who we're talking about. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want people to get it conflated, because we're not knocking those coming looking for a better life. Shit, everybody says, I'm looking for a better life. Truth be told, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna jump in power and then I get down with the power players and then I'm like, those who came before me later for y'all, because this is what we gonna do. And I'm gonna take care of my people, even if I become late.
But then, Brother Tad, doesn't it come down to the educational system and the ability for us to inculcate the knowledge?
Marcia, baby girl, let me say this. We all revert to Dr. Carter G. Woodson in the Miseducation of the Negro when we talk education, no? And the one thing he said, in this life, man is given 2 educations. One that's given to him and one he gives himself, and the latter by far is great taught. If you got 2 educations, if you know you from a shithole country and you happen to make it here, you know you ain't got no business trying to uphold the status quo. You're supposed to take that position of power, form alliances with those black folks that's here and get them to help you. Because if you align with the black folks here, you know the black folks here is fighting for your country too. We're not just fighting for us, we're fighting this global war. Like, let's really put it on the table. So
absolutely.
So when we say education, which one we talking about? The one that was given to us? Or
the one that we must acquire ourselves.
Right. So,
if you just real quick, let me hit.
Okay, jump in,
I
brother.
hate to interrupt.
Take us to the cosmos.
Real quick.
You're muted.
The alien short-circuited your Wi-Fi. You can't hear you, bro.
Muted.
Come on, Anunnaki. There you go. Go ahead, Anunnaki. Go ahead.
Sorry, y'all. Apologies. What I'm saying is, as somebody who spent a lot of time out of this country, in third world countries at that, my parents being from one, and what Sister Marcia is saying, and I think me and her bridge that gap a little better than you guys, because y'all FBA, and we, even though we were born here, we're not. And what I'm saying is when I say all this is to say the amount of desperation that people in these countries feel to come to a first world country where their older brother, cousin somebody that they admired and loved that did that step, and they want to do it because that person's making $800-900 a week, which is a fortune over there in these countries. They want to do it too. And with that said, they will do almost anything to get here. And if shitting on you who ain't them is their mentality, what's the difference?
Brother Black, the difference
from
is
that side, I'm saying, from that perspective.
I agree with you. And let me just do this one more again. I'm gonna pass the mic to Sister Keisha. Let's use Kamala Harris or Imhoff. She is not of the destitute community of India. If broke people of India are coming here to get money, I'm not knocking it. That's what I'm saying. But when you're quote unquote educated and you get in these positions of powers to create policies, you owe it to the people you left behind and those who you align with, because she calls herself Black. You owe it to this group, the ones you form an alliance with, and to your native group, to do what's in best interest of both groups. When I go to Ghana, right, I know I'm an outsider. When I invest my money, I know I'm an outsider. Will I look out for my brothers and sisters from the U.S.? Of course, because we're on a sojourn together. But at the same token, I'm going to respect the Ghanaian people that are there prior to me and get some instructions from them. Well, what is it that y'all need that we can help with, since we got the resources and we know that y'all been fighting this fight? Not me coming over there to be a fucking beggar. I'm not going to Ghana to beg, because even then, now I'm definitely under everybody's foot. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking those looking for a better life. I'm talking about those who come, get in positions of power, and act like they don't have a responsibility to the people that they're fucking identity thieving, because they come here saying they Black. Kendrick Lamar's song was big.
Well,
hold on, let me say this real quick, and I'm gonna give you the mic, brother Anunnaki, and then I want Sister Keisha to chime in. Kendrick Lamar's song was big because everybody is acting like us. Whether it was Drake or Kamala Harris or whoever, y'all not us. When you come here to America and you say you Black, if your family ain't from the South or been in New York, or even like your family, brother Black, been here prior to the Civil Rights Movement that moved the needle forward, you are not like us. So stop it. Stop cosplaying. What is cosplaying? Costume playing. You put on a costume, you look like us, but you're not us. You're not us. And we have to hold the vanguard. We have to be the guardians of the culture. Fuck what these people talk about. I don't give a damn what ABC talk. God bless Dr. Julia Hare. What she said? Always broadcasting Caucasians. That's what ABC is. And everybody who come in there got that mindset. I don't care how Black they are. If you got the mindset that white is right and Black got to get back, you are not us. I don't even care if you look like Wesley Snipes. Blackness is not just what you look like, it's your consciousness. So as they want to free people and free rappers and pardon people, what about those who literally gave their life? Why Sada Shakur can't come home? Mama Mia is still in jail, even though it's been proven he didn't commit the crime.
But Brother Tad, we know, especially with the jab.
No, this for you and Brother Cosmo, because
wait.
What y'all saying, answer that. Those who come in positions of power.
Brother
yes,
Tad. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Y'all know I love y'all. I get so passionate because ain't nobody gonna move me off.
Tad.
Yes.
Thank you.
Got me all riled up tonight.
You don't have a heart attack. You know,
jab, so I'm Gucci.
Shoot. Fat Man Scoop was out there screaming, oh, let's go. And then he went back to the ones and twos and was not here. So,
let's move forward, family. Because we got hold on, family. Hold on. We got to move forward because we in the last half hour of the show. We got to move forward. But I wanted to play this clip of Professor James Small's explanation on foundational Black Americans and Black immigrants. Here we go, family.
A lot of people, especially from the Caribbean and other places, will point out that they come here and they're able to do well. They have stores, they have businesses, but African Americans have been here all this time and they don't seem to have accumulated wealth.
That's not true. There's no nation in the world Black as wealthy as the African So what are they talking about? That you got a store, and I'm the majority of the municipal workers in the city. I'm the majority of the postal workers in the city. I spend $1 trillion a year. Your nation don't even make $1 trillion a year that you come. So what the hell are you talking about? What people are trying to do is play a little shell game with you. I own a grocery store that you shop at. You treat me like a human being. You don't say I'm gonna boycott you because you don't live here. You come and shop at my store and treat me like a human being, but I can't even treat you like a human being in reference. I shop at your store when you don't even share your monies in my community. You don't build in my social community. You don't even come and go to my church. You establish your own church. No white community does that. When the Irish comes to America, they go to whatever Catholic church or Protestant churches in the community they move in. When my brothers and sisters come from the continent or from the Caribbean, they set up their own separate Protestant church or their separate Catholic church, but they don't, or they'll go to the white Catholic church, but they won't come and make their home within the black church. Right there, tell me who's discriminating against whom. But see, the thing is, you've come here not to partner with me. You've come here, you were brought here by the white man to partner with him. He granted you the visa. He granted you the green card. Why? He doesn't need you. Or does he need you? He needed you for the cheap labor. He needed you to work in the industries we were working in, because in the 60s, we broke their back. We broke their back politically. We broke their back economically. And they said, we'll reward you. You may have your civil rights bill. You may have your affirmative action laws. You may have disgraced us to the world, but we'll make sure you're unemployed. So we're going to bring blacks in from the Caribbean, Philippines in from the Philippines, Chinese from Taiwan. And then when that market got saturated, then they started bringing in the Latinos from all over Central South America to be the cheap labor force, to do the work that we have been doing in this nation all along, developing and moving up in, and to make sure that you use economics and unemployment as a way of defeating and reversing the victories that blacks had won during the Civil Rights War against you. And then our brothers and sisters, in their ignorance and their desperation, don't understand none of this. They just know they got a job. They don't understand why they were given preference. They're not going to fight no white folks. They got no beef with the white folks. They got no historical relationship with white racism and white supremacy in America. They don't even know what we are angry about. And many times they ask us that, what are you angry about? Okay. Because in America, we went to war with the white man as the white man. That didn't happen in any Caribbean island or any African nation. After their enslavement and after their colonial enslavement, they tend to merge and migrate into that white culture and population, denouncing their culture.
No, the Jamaicans, for an example, would say that they fought their Maroons. They wanted
portion of Jamaica were Maroons. All of Jamaica were not Maroons. There was two main Maroon communities, and both of them signed, at least one of them under Nanny, signed an agreement with the British to capture the runaway and return them back to the British in exchange for their independence. And that was just a semi-independence. Most of Jamaicans were not in the Maroon community, and even today, most of Jamaicans don't even respect the Maroon community, which still exists to this day. I've been in that community. I've danced the Nyabengi in every church in the hills of Jamaica. I've sat at the table at Mr. Henry Palace and helped broker a peace agreement between the 7 families. I know more about the Maroons community. When I go among that community today, I'm greeted as a hero, a son, and a brother of that community. And they look at most of the other brothers and sisters in Jamaica as their enemy, and none of them would dare come up into those mountains after dark unless they had family out there. Even the taxi cabs will not take you after dark, because the everyday Jamaicans have no relationship with the Maroon community, and they still treat them as marginalized Africanists, bush people. So when people get over here with us, they try to play the little game to give themselves an identity, but when they're at home, they're not in that identity. If you meet a true Maroon, they'll come over here to be our comrades because they understand the relationship between black and white.
That's right.
I remember.
So, there you have it, family. There you have it. He couldn't make it any plainer. He couldn't have made it any plainer. And like I said, I just came and I travel to Jamaica often. He's right about that. They don't rock with the masses. They don't. Them little maroon community, they don't rock with them because they know what they about. And even traveling, as Brother Taz said, there is protocol. Brother Blacksmith know it's protocol when you go to other countries. You got to follow that protocol. I have never, except Liberia, I have never seen any Black Americans go abroad, live abroad, usurp the people who are there, take over their government, and align themselves with the power structure. I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
But
and if
was it
anybody has,
Liberia?
y'all let me know. Listen, listen, I love education, but we got to move on, family. We got to move on. Unfortunately, we got about 20 minutes left. We had lost 3 entertainment icons while I was gone. First, it was Fat Man Scoop. Shout out to Ike. Rest in peace, Ike. Those of you who partied heavy, you know that was his name. Anyway, some of us could call him Ike. The rest of y'all call him Fat Man Scoop. But anyway, we lost him. We lost James Earl Jones at the age of 93, I believe he was, right? Am I wrong?
93.
Okay.
But he was still married to a white woman.
We gonna get into that. We gonna get into it. Hold on, sis. You gonna get into it. And also Frankie Beverly. That Philadelphia sound, Dr. Fillet said he just had a farewell concert out there in Philly. So we lost 3 major icons in entertainment. And whether you agree or disagree, they shaped.
Hey, we can't forget about Tommy Kwan, though.
Oh, yeah, Rich Homie Quan as well.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard y'all. I repeated it. Rich
What's
Homie
the
Quan-
Brazilian artist too? Sing. Oh.
The what artist?
There's a Brazilian artist.
Oh, I don't know.
Hold on,
him.
I'll tell you.
But anyway, so we lost these 3 icons who helped shape American culture in 3 different time spans. So before I get into that, let's start with Fat Man Scoop. Now, Brother Taz said, he could have. We don't know if he took that, thing. But I know he was contemplating and discussing it on his Instagram page when that whole thing was going on. And he was against it at first. So I don't know if that was the end result. But I do know that there ain't a party that Black people haven't attended to that these 3 icons, you didn't hear their music, period. Or you didn't hear their sound, period. Now, Rich Homie Quan, he new to the game. But I'm telling you, every Black American, especially family gathering, these 3 icons would definitely play. Your feelings, Brother Tad, on the loss of these 3 icons, and if you can name some of their works, that would be great.
Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I good on the mic? 1 2 1 2.
Got you.
For James Earl Jones, it was the image of it was the deep voice. I don't know for the women, because you remember he's before my time, but I do remember him.
That voice was heavenly. And not to cut you, but he, as a child, he didn't speak until he got to high school because he stuttered so bad. But go ahead, Brother Tad.
Yeah, my introduction was Claudine, with him being just a pretty much stand-up dude, working class man, dealing with the socio-economic climate of the time. That's why Claudine is a staple in the Black community in terms of our culture, reflection in the mirror. Of course, Fat Man Scoop, Crooklyn Clan, those were the days of the tunnel. This is when the 90s hip hop was popping, and he kept, because I used to go to the tunnel a lot. For those who don't know, tunnel is like Rikers Island with music, because all the thugs went there. There's unisex bathrooms. People got robbed, stabbed, and shot. And at the end of the day, you still had a good time. Don't ask me why. It's the psychosis that we stuck under white supremacy to enjoy pain and foolishness. But Fat Man Scoop definitely created a new soundtrack for us to rock out. He was heavy on the radio. and things like that. And for Frankie Beverly and Maze, I mean, like, come on, that's black folks cookout music. I mean, whether you talking about Happy People, you talking about Before I Let Go, I mean, there's so much music Frankie Beverly and Maze had. In fact, they were the staple in the Essence Music Festival that every year, the last show of the Essence Music Festival, you had to wear white because that was Frankie Beverly and Maze Day. That was for them to rock out, give us some feel-good music back when people had talent and instrumentation was key. Not samples, not keyboards and all of this other stuff, but you had to have real talent. You had to know how to sing, you had to know how to play an instrument, and they rocked.
And salute to Frankie Beverly because we wearing the caps. He always wore his white.
That's
but
right. His white
we rocking the caps. So salute to him.
Yes. I mean, so with those three icons, as and of course, again, Brother Black, Sister Marcia, you know, I love y'all to life. It's not about where our family is from, right? What we talk about is those in power that are coming lately and abandon the mission that we already set out. But when I talk about Fat Man Scoop and James Earl Jones and our brother Frankie Beverly, we're talking about the soundtracks of blackness. We're talking about what shaped what blackness is unapologetically. I mean, like you said, Sister Marcia, he had a white girl, but those dudes in that generation, I don't know what it was. I guess they think they made it once they got a white girl because they have been so taboo, you know, and truth be told, a lot of white women like the brothers.
Isn't it the same today with the brothers? Like, oh, I made it. I got me a white girl.
I don't know.
I'm having a white. I got me a snow bunny, like Dr. Sukiana, like you like to call him, says.
The dudes I knew, and truth be told, dudes I knew that rock with them, not all of them. Let me say that. But a lot of dudes I knew who had a white girl was using them for financial gains. Like, yeah, I got this white girl, son. She's about to do this for me. I'm about to make her do this, do that. And they would smut them out.
That credit. She got good credit. Yo, I could do this,
like,
blah, 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 and then move on up.
She gonna hold a drug. She gonna she was the guinea.
I know the game.
That's my paradigm. You know what I'm saying? And there's some dudes who really love them. And that's them. You know what I'm saying? You love who you love. I love who I love. I love black women. Whether they from the Caribbean, from the continent, from New York or down south or out west, I love black women. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their personal preference. Some dudes like dudes. That's their preference over there. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying about James Earl Jones, Frankie Beverly, and our brother Fat Man Scoop, as we talk about what blackness is in America, because what's happening is it's getting whitewashed and diluted. People are really cosplaying and I'm particularly talking about people like Drake and Kamala. People are getting notoriety for acting like us, but they don't act in our interest. But they only get in that position because we support them. White folks know what they're doing, using them as a buffer class. Because as Donald Trump said, she did say she was Indian. Now she's black. He's not capping about that.
You know, I noticed something, Brother Tad, during the debate because he mentioned her father.
Yeah.
She totally ignored it, as he normally does. But you got all these Jamaican folks capping for. She don't even mention y'all. And this is why we don't rock with you, because you're dumb.
Right.
This is why. Go ahead, Brother Tad.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Because sure enough, as we lose these icons, me being a black American of African and Native American descent, which I could prove, but we all African. When we talk about blackness in America, we know it comes with a definition, it comes with a history, and it comes with a lineage, and we're not giving that up for nothing. And Frankie Beverly and Maze and the likes, they gave us the soundtrack. They knew what it was. They made our feel-good music in the climate that was very hostile towards us. It wasn't ska, it wasn't calypso, it wasn't reggae, it wasn't merengue, it wasn't salsa. It was rhythm and blues. It was jazz. It was us. And what we see happening, right, Sister Marcia, Brother Black, we see people are really trying to move us out the way because they know they owe us a debt. They rather pay foreigners than give us what they owe us. And that is why we're so adamant about it this day and age, because here you got people with no historical connection to the land getting all kinds of monies. On August 23rd, California signed a bill that said they are giving undocumented immigrants $125,000 to $250,000 for first-time home buyers. Undocumented. People with no papers, like you don't even know who they are, but you're gonna get. I said what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Mexico on vacation and then come back as Pedro Valdez.
That's it.
I could get
Riba, andale out this mother.
I'm off my
soap. For real. Because, funny you say that. Before I left to go on my trip, I went to the bank to withdraw some cash. You had 3 Latino folks in there, couldn't speak a lick of English, but they knew they wanted to open an account. And they had some papers with them, but the lady who was working in there was a little ticked off. I could see she was ticked off. So she told them to stand to the side and wait. But they getting that bread. Now, how in the all hell do they think that's right? How do you think that's right? When the people here aren't getting, they not dumb. They not dumb. They may speak another language, whatever. Just like these Chinese who are coming in here dropping these anchor babies. They are not dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. And nobody cares if they undermine black folks. Nobody.
But Dr. Paul told us this was going to happen.
Facts. And facts he did. And, no matter what, everybody got a minute computer. So I'm not giving folks no passes. But moving to James Earl Jones, sticking with that, do y'all know that his father was a profound actor? I think he died at 96. His father is was a profound actor. Now, a while ago, I used to mention to y'all that I love Oscar Michaud's films. And Robert Earl Jones, the father of James Earl Jones, was a prominent actor, and he starred in a few of Oscar Michaud's films. One most notably is Lying Lips. He was in Trading Places. He was in the movie The Cotton Club. And he was born in Mississippi. That's where James Earl Jones was born at, in Mississippi. He married, I think, 3 times. Robert Earl Jones. He actually didn't meet his son until like 50 something years later. That marriage was short. Yeah, that he left right before James was born. And so James didn't meet his father until he was like in his 50s. So anyway, I say all that to say is that even though they didn't know each other or meet each other or they reconciled later on in life, they had pretty much the same path in life. So you have to study your lineage, your family lineage, because it tells you a lot about who you are, what you are, and the things that you're doing. Staying in vein with Mr. James Earl Jones, let's hear this clip of an interview that he gave with his then wife. Let's hear it. Here we go.
Men marry white women because of the nature of black women. I know in some of our earlier conversations, you mentioned that the black women you've met have been uptight. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'll answer the one question. What do I mean by uptight? Going toward a more militant attitude about their own identity. And in many ways are way ahead of the black man, because I don't know why, but in many ways are replacing the black man. There's a whole, there's an almost unfeminine aspect of the black militant woman.
Do you find that some black women you've known, out of your personal experience, blame the black man for what happened to them instead of
Of course, if the black man, regardless of the causes, failed to protect her, left her in a position where she had to sell herself or bargain with her body and so on. Yes, she had there's a resentment about that, but it's very complex now. You see, I think in another generation you'll get a whole crop uptight about their position in society. There are many, because I'm generalizing now, many are overreacting against Aunt Jemima, the Aunt Jemima image, the submissive Mother Earth type, unselfish, all giving, especially all giving to the white man, sexually and in the kitchen and every other way. And she's also overreacting against the problem of having to be the breadwinner, the matriarch of the house. The myth of the black matriarch is really a myth, because she is not. It wasn't her choice. Many black women, I'm sure, once they found this job had a certain social and political dignity to it, relished it and wielded the rolling pen, like any minority group mama would do. But no matter how much she might relish it, it wasn't her choice to begin with. She would always have preferred the black male to have run the house, to have saved her from white rapists, white slave owners.
Why did you marry Jim? But first, do you know what Jim means by the uptightness of black women?
Oh, yes.
You've been in the theater.
Well, I've felt it. I've sensed it with almost every black woman that we know, whether they accept me or not. Whether there's always a tolerance, but there's always hostility behind it. I can understand it intellectually. Thank God I didn't have to go through the process that made it occur. I happen to think it's a good thing that they're showing hostility. I think it's the only thing they can show at the moment. And I think out of the hostility, I think that's a healthy sign.
Yikes. I think no more Vogue covers for Naomi because...
That was weird. She said that's the only thing they could do. Like, y'all ain't got no power. Be mad.
Ain't that something?
That's what I took.
Smug on her face. I wanted to stab her through the screen.
And I think it's...
And I got your big black man, and he's protecting me. He got my back, and he'll never have you black witches black. You get a Kamala Harris to get your back, witches.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I knew my sister was going to get heated after that one. But it's crazy. People will always have justification for their shenanigans. Now, his father was under federal investigation for hanging out with the so-called communists and all of that. So it's funny how life, goes, if you will. But again, family, we've come to the end of our program. We didn't even get into the racist judge and shootings and all that, but we'll touch on it next week. But Sister Marcia, your final thoughts and commentary. Let's get it.
So I would love to thank my brothers and sisters for being here with us tonight on Thorough Black Talk on this Blacktastic Thursday. We learned a lot. We did a lot. We talked a lot. Remember to have empathy for your brothers and sisters across the globe, and despise the brothers who have snow bunnies and the women who have snow bunnies. Is that what they call them? But because the fairy tale that has been presented by Disney does not exist. So we really have to get into reality and really help each other get to the place we need to be as a collective, because there's a collective struggle that we seem to omit from the process, and it's collectively that we will win the war. So I'd like to thank y'all all again for joining Third Black Talk. Join us again next Thursday. Like, share, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to let people know that we're on live on Thursdays. And make time flourish or may time flourish. You can will time the way you want it to and make it smell sweet like thyme in your food. So enjoy yourselves. Brother Black.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear
Y'all
you,
hear me?
Mr. Anunnaki. We can hear you, Mr.
Okay,
Anunnaki. Give us the knowledge. The space is burning.
Okay, yeah, something like that. A lot of celestial activities. It's so much out there, and I've already provided you guys with the right links to find that stuff. And if you even go on it once a week, you'll probably be in the algorithms if you subscribe to these people. So no need for me to go into that stuff. It's happening more. The sun is rising more now in the Northeast as opposed to the East. So check that out if you get up early in the morning and see that for yourself. We already know about the solar flares and, you know, cosmic, the flash that's supposed to come. I'm not going to get into that. That would take a whole show right there by itself. As far as, I'm just going to touch on the three people who died, and then I'm going to close out with Brother Tad. Sister Keisha, I would like a request, if you could do it, to play, dedicate Silky Soul Singer to Frankie
No, we
Beverly.
cannot do that. We cannot play anybody's music or we will get striked. Can't do it. Sorry. You got to talk to Laya Cohen. He controls the music on YouTube, Facebook, and every other place.
Sing it though, Brother Cosmo.
Okay, yeah, well.
Brother Anunnaki, you got the rhythm. You could flow for us.
For those of y'all who don't know, Silky Soul Singer was a song by Frankie Beverly and Mays, made in honor of Marvin Gaye's skills in light and so on and so forth. Go check it out. I recommend it. As far as James Earl Jones is concerned, like Tad, I know him from the movie Claudine, and then I saw him over the years. One notable thing that he did do, you know, about 20, 30 years ago, I believe is still on. I don't really watch television much, but is the voice of This Is Verizon. Yeah. So if you heard that before, and 99% of us heard it if you're watching a certain television show, and you just pass it. But
Brother Anunnaki,
probably 10 seconds.
Brother Anunnaki, how do you not know Luke? I am your father. How do you not know that?
Yeah. Same voice.
Yes, that's
I know that. Commercial. Okay. I knew that, but I was talking about the commercial for those out there who are young and don't know who he is from that voice.
Forget about the young people. Remain in space. You are the soldier for Anunnakis. You remain in space, Luke. I am your father.
That was a Haitian Star Wars rendition.
Star Wars in Haiti.
Facts. Facts. Sakpase.
Duvalier is playing Lando Calrissian. Anyway, real quick, I gotta finish up. Gotta go.
Y'all are too funny.
Batman School. Yeah, very iconic. He wasn't really a rapper, but he's a hip hopper. Let's say that because he did so much other stuff. Great tribute to that man. I love and respect that dude for what he did for hip hop. There is a lane for other things for him and guys like Dougie Fresh, who ain't really lyricists, but they still rock a crowd in a hip hop arena. So we got to give him his props for being something other than what we could put him in the category with Luke, later Luke stuff, and DJ Cool and people.
Nah, don't put him in a category with Luke.
Entertainers more than
Don't put it with Luke.
party rock.
Luke is canceled.
Oh, I'm not talking about Luke. I'm talking about like, hey, we wanna party. You know the song, I don't remember. Doodle Brown. Whatever the name of that song is. So just basically
Family Show, Brother Black.
Yeah. As far as the love for the lane that he created.
Families still get down.
I didn't hear that part.
Somebody said family show.
Oh, for
Somebody
sure.
said
Come
Luke
on
still
now.
canceled for Kamala, and I agree. But families still have fun. Hey, we wanna.
Nah, Luke is canceled. He been talking some greasy stuff lately.
I agree.
He's been canceled.
I agree, and he's all Kamala.
You need to keep your mouth closed, old mush mouth, gap tooth mother. Go ahead. Let me get off my soapbox.
Mr. Keisha was about to win.
Okay, so that man, I don't think she talked about Stevie Wonder that bad. I just
Stevie got a pass.
Question. Who's worse?
Stevie, I like Stevie. I just can't take him but so much. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take him in drips.
Drips.
Stevie versus Sade. Sister Keisha, Stevie versus Sade.
Well, I thought we was friends, but I guess not, because you really trying to give me a headache before I go to bed.
I'm just asking because you heard the new news about Sade, right?
I'll take Stevie over Sade. Sade,
okay, thank you.
Commit suicide.
Thank you.
I said I'll take Stevie over Sade any day.
Okay, I got it. Let me close out.
Finish your thoughts. We about to open a whole new.
I'm going to end with this question, Sister Keisha. No. It's a question. You can give me one word or another. It's more the question than the answer. Who's worse, Rachel Dolezal or Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala
Emhoff. She's the worst.
You gonna make it unanimous?
Emhoff. Kamala Emhoff.
And speaking of Kamala Emhoff, next week, family, if I forget, we're gonna go heavy into Willie Brown. Because I know a lot of black people like that mother. But we go heavy into Willie Brown next week. Because that mother is a liar and full of it. But we're going to get into it. But go ahead.
Why Tad ain't answer that question? He's still thinking about
because Rachel is his friend. He like Rachel. He like Rachel. That's my friend.
Nope. My answer is BOFFUM. Both of them. Both of them horrible. Both of them is horrible.
You should have started with horrible, not with the both of them.
Both of them is horrible.
I tell you.
I'll pass the mic, Brother Tad. You'll go.
Go ahead, Brother Tad. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, Brother Black, Sister Marcia, Sister Keisha, I love y'all to life. I love this. Tonight was dope. We had a good Discord, a great conversation. And hopefully our audience could walk away from this because there is conversation about, our continental and diasporan brothers and sisters and foundational Black Americans. It's not us against Caribbean or African. We're talking about policies and leadership in the community and those who cosplaying Black, because everybody's Black when it comes to the political arena. But then when it comes to cultural practice, everybody's Ghanaian, Trinidadian, Jamaican, Haitian, you know what I'm saying? But Black Americans, it's almost like we have no say-so. Now, here's the caveat. It may take a couple of minutes, but I'm not going to be too long. Here's the caveat. Because as a group of people who are victims of America, as Black Americans were, with the laws and all types of things, it activates a level of psychosis for us to defend ourselves in this country as quote unquote Black Americans. See, the problem is our family is coming over, but Then y'all want to denounce us and deny us, and y'all forcing us to choose the side. Not y'all two per se, but people who come get in positions of power and be like, oh, you Black Americans so stupid. Y'all been here forever and y'all still ain't got nothing. But nobody knows how laws were designed to keep things away from us. The same people who designed laws for us not to have access to certain resources are the same people who colonized your nation. But see, the Haitians can't be mad at Americans because it was the French. Black Americans can't be mad at the French because it was the Americans. The people in Brazil can't be mad at America because it was the Spaniards, and vice, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. It was the Europeans against us. And we got to understand that we have enemies who operate in a position of allies, and we have to operate in a position of allies. You know what I mean? So when we talk about
Yeah.
America,
So, Brother Tad, I don't want to cut you, but I just want to say the whole umbrella. Put it under an umbrella so that people could see it.
but that's my point. So when Black Americans stand up for ourselves, people got to understand you're on our court. Don't talk shit to me about how I'm playing or defending on my court. If you want pop shit, go back to your court and defend it. But when you're on my court, this is the rules of the game. But it's not you can't play on my court. You just got to be on my side, or you got to be with the ops. There is no in between because you're not a referee. So with that said, we want our audience to know that we love all of our people. And I'm not saying all oppressed people around the world. I'm not that dude because everybody think they're oppressed now. Me standing up for my position, my heterosexuality, my Blackness is oppressing other folks who's diametrically opposed to what I hold true, near, dear to my heart as family values. So family, hopefully you learned something here tonight and you were inspired. So it's your turn to go out and inspire others. Yeah. Go check me out on Doggy Diamond's show. Go check me out on Doggy Diamonds. We was rocking out this week. Super dope.
It's on a Facebook page.
How are you 40 plus is still a bozo? And check us out every Sunday. Me and my brother C Gutter, the OG Wisdom podcast, every Sunday at 2 p.m. And I will be with my brother Ray Ray on the William Mackey Study Group next Wednesday on the 18th. So tune in for that. But hopefully y'all will inspire. It's your turn to go out and inspire others. So y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true. And remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, there's always better days ahead. Sister Keisha.
Glad to be Black with y'all. Again, nobody do it how we do it here on Thorough Black Talk. Listen, family. When we came up with the platform and the design, and when we knew Brother Ashe was transitioning to other things, and I brought in Brother Black and Sister Marcia actually before Ashe took off. But one thing I know is camaraderie. I'm very good at reading people and how they will adapt to certain things. And I knew that our brother and sister would bring such a great element to this platform, and also letting you hear voices that you normally would not hear. So please don't take any negativity, if you will, because I'm the one who get all the messages from y'all later on. Now I don't feel like sifting through the nonsense. It's all love over here. Always all love. You know, good argument, good debate, good dialogue is how you learn. It's how you learn. I've learned from the best in the greatest and heatest of arguments. If you've ever been on a bus ride with UAM anywhere, you know those arguments can get heated, heavy. Brother Black, no, he already know how it could get. But, you know, it's all in growth. It's all in progress. So remember, we all got out here, no matter where you come from. I just came from the island of Jamaica, and I know how to move over there. I still move like I'm from Brooklyn. I don't cosplay and try to be a Jamaican. I sleep with one, but I ain't one. However, you know, that's it. That's it. I would say something, but this is a family show. But anyway, I know how to conduct myself in different arenas. So we're gonna close this show out. Wagwan, my youth. Let's go. Shout out to the real Tony Montana.
Hey.
Shout out to the real Tony Montana.
Calm down.
I know you're checking. And also, if you ever go to the parish of Negril, Jamaica, please try to stay at the Grill Tree House Resort. It is owned by a Black American woman. She bought that resort in the 80s. She was married to a Jamaican man, and you know, he transitioned, and she opened up the resort. And if you talk to her, you would think she was born on an island. She done lost that American accent because she's been there for so long. However, it's the only resort on all of the island where Black Americans can get some fish and grits, god darn it, over there. So anyway, good night, y'all. We'll see y'all black again next week. Here's a little footage that I took for y'all. We're gonna rock out in YouTube, Facebook. You can't stop me because yes, I created this soundtrack as well. Don't let me put on my reggae hat. Stop playing with me. Here we go. Good night, family. We out. Oh, sorry, y'all.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Echoes deep in every name. Legal truths we must reclaim. Through the storm and through the rain. Thorough black talk worldview. Politics is decay. System must be a brother blacksmith. Cut the check or no vote.